afternoon, or evening. My name is Braden O'Day, and I'm currently a student of 1009 GBS, Grand Challenges for Business at Griffith University. Today, I'll be presenting a solution development and pitch in regards to a current challenge that is facing the ever-successful company, McDonald's. This presentation will start with a brief history of my chosen business, which, as stated, is McDonald's. I'll then identify and present a problem statement for which this presentation is based on. After identifying that problem, I'll present to you two potential solutions to said problem and discuss the pros and cons of each possible solution. Once those solutions have been discussed, I'll present a pitch using the SMART formula for the solution that I believe is best suited to the current situation. So, a quick history of McDonald's. They were originally founded in San Bernardino, California as McDonald's Barbecue Restaurant, which doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Macca's. And speaking of the nickname Macca's, the first McDonald's restaurant in Australia opened in 1973 in Sydney, and Australia was home to the first McCafe in the world in 1993 in Melbourne. Other milestones along the way were the first international restaurant in 1967 in both Canada and Puerto Rico, and the opening of their charity organisation, Ronald McDonald House, in 1973. Fast forward now to 2022, and McDonald's now has over 36,000 restaurants, which span over 100 countries worldwide. So, what's the problem? Well, studies show that customers are becoming more and more conscious of things like climate change and what different companies are doing to combat it and their different carbon footprints. So, it's becoming increasingly important for businesses to improve on their sustainability in order to survive moving into the future. So the first potential solution is to switch to eco-friendly kitchen and electrical equipment. So the pros and cons for this one are the pros, you obviously improve your image and brand equity, which obviously also increases customer satisfaction and your positive word of mouth. And of course, the big one, better for the environment. The cons are that new equipment can be expensive, as well as expensive downtime while you're installing new equipment and cost of training staff on the new equipment as well. You could have a possible negative effect while discarding the old equipment, and of course this could take a long time to implement, as you wouldn't be able to implement this across all stores at once unless you shut them all at once to install the new equipment. So solution number two has some similar pros. Obviously, again, you improve your image and brand equity, you increase your customer satisfaction and positive word of mouth, and of course better for the environment, the big one. This one also would be much easier to trial multiple brands to decide which one is best, and it can be implemented in all stores across the country simultaneously. The cons are a possible downtime of trial and error, so possible with no return if you're having to buy new brands to try and you don't end up liking them. And of course, the growing pains for rigid customers who just want to have their plastic straw. So I believe the best solution of the two presented today is to switch to eco-friendly packaging and consumables. The slide being shown now goes into more detail about how and why this is the best decision. Using the SMART formula, this solution can be made specific by McDonald's setting out to transition all stores in Australia to use 100% eco-friendly consumables. This solution is also measurable, as there are online tools which businesses can use to calculate their carbon footprint. Furthermore, the solution is certainly achievable, as there are packaging suppliers which have very large varieties of eco-friendly options that McDonald's could switch to with little or no disruption to their trade. This solution is of course relevant to McDonald's because, as discussed, there are studies that show that customers are becoming increasingly aware of which companies are using these eco-friendly products and are increasingly favouring those businesses. And lastly, the time frame that I believe could reasonably be achieved for this solution is within 1 year. So, in short, this presentation has outlined that it is important for McDonald's to become more eco-friendly, as this is increasingly what customers are favouring in the businesses they choose to frequent. The solution to this problem that I suggest McDonald's implements is to make a switch to 100% eco-friendly, sustainable consumables moving forward. I believe this is the best way for them to become more eco-friendly, as it can be achieved without any major financial loss or disruption to their trade. And lastly, I believe this is a good solution for McDonald's because If the positive impact on the environment is enough to motivate the switch, studies are now showing that businesses can benefit financially from making this sort of switch as customers become more and more aware of climate change issues. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day.